Hey guys, today we're doing lesson 9.5 on numerical patterns. It's page 559 in your math book. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, to start us off, I'm going to read the problem. On the first week of school, Joel purchases 2 movies and 6 songs from his favorite media website. If he purchases the same number of movies and songs each week, how does the number of songs purchased compare to the number of movies purchased from one week to the next? So I'm going to go through and I'm going to underline my information. So he purchases 2 movies and 6 songs. If he purchases the same number each week, how does the number purchased compared? Okay, so here I have my sequence. The first step is you're using the 2 rules. The one rule is you're going to add 2 because it stays the same because he bought 2 movies. The second rule is it's going to stay the same. You're going to add 6 because he bought 6 songs. And it says here, stays the same. Okay? So the sequence is, you start off with 2 because that's what he purchased. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then you have these 3 little dots here, and all that means is that it can continue on. The next sequence we're going to do is for the songs. So he started off with 6 songs. Then you're adding 6 because he got 6 more. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. Now we're going to write the number pairs. So the first one you have already completed, 2, 6. The second week, 4 and 12. The third week you have 6 and 18. And the last week, the fourth week, you have 8 and 24. Okay, for each number pair, you're going to compare the number of movies to the number of songs. So we're going to write a rule that describes the relationship of all of these numbers. Okay, if you look at these, you know you go 2, 6, 4, 12, 6, 18, 8, and 24. I want you to think about what those have in common. We could say that they're even. We can say they go up by the same number each time. But there's one specific thing that we're wanting to find for the rule. So we're just going to look and see how these 2 numbers are related. Okay, one way to do that is you can think the first number or the second number is increased so much by the first number, or the first number is multiplied by this number to get the second number. So if we go through and we look at all of these pairs, 2 times something gives me 6. 4 times something gives me 12. 6 times something gives me 18. And 8 times something gives me 24. So I know that all of these, the rule is you're multiplying by 3. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to write my rule. You can write it 2 different ways. I'm going to spell it out. So you multiply by 3. Another way that you could do it, you can write an X 3. That means multiplied by 3. Or if you're on your computer, you can also do the star 3, or you can still just write a big X. Or you can spell it out to make sure that I understand what it is. So from one week to the next, the number of songs Joel purchased is 3 times as many as the number of movies purchased. Okay, moving on to page 560 with the example. So you have your data, but this one is in a table. When Alice completes each level in her favorite video game, she wins 3 extra lives and 6 gold coins. So I know that this is important, and I'm going to need those numbers. What rule can you write to relate the number of gold coins to the number of extra lives she has won in any level? How many extra lives will Alice have won after she completes 8 levels? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our table. We have our levels, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have those dots, which means there's information in between, and then we end in 8 because it wants to know 8 levels. We have your gold coins and your extra lives, and we have some information put in here. We know that she started out with 3 and 6, so the first level she gets 3 and 6. We have to continue the pattern. So step 1 is to the left side of the table. You're going to complete the rule for how you could find out the number. So we know we're looking at extra lives up here, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12. If you know your multiplication, you know that you are multiplying or adding by 3. Each one of these is a multiple of 3, but from one to the next, you're adding 3. So from 0 to 3, you're adding 3, which is a plus 3. 3 to 6, you're adding 3 again. You're adding 3, and you're adding 3. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put add 3. From one level to the next, Alice wins 3 more extra lives because that is what our rule is. The second part is we're going to find out the rule now for your gold coins. 0, 6, 12, 18, 24, and it keeps going until you get to 48. So I know from 0 to 6, I'm adding 6. 6 to 12, I'm going to add 6, add 6, add 6. So the rule here is to add 6. So from one level to the next, Alice wins 6 more gold coins. Okay, the next step that we have to do for this information is we have to put them in pairs. So I know it says write the number of pairs that relate to the number of gold coins, which is the bottom. We got to make sure we follow the rule. Gold coins to the number of lives. So gold coins is going to come first. So if you look here at this example, number 1, level 1 is already completed for you. 6, 3. So if I go to level 2, it's going to be 12, 6. Level 3, 18, 9. And for level 4, 24, 12. The next step, step number 4, is I have to complete the rule to find level 8. So if I go through and I find the pattern. So here's a little tip. It says for each level, the number of extra lives is blank as great as the number of gold coins. So there are a couple different ways that you can find this out. I'm going to go back up here into my information, and I'm going to look at these as pairs, not straight across. I'm going to look at them up and down. So I know that 3 is related to 6. There are different ways. 3 plus 3 is 6. Or you can do 6 divided by 3. There are different ways they are related. So I'm going to go to the next one. I know that 6 plus 6 gives me 12. 3 plus 3 gives me 6. 6 plus 6 gives me 12. 9 plus 9 gives me 18. So I know that we are multiplying these by 2. However, we're not going to compare the lives to the gold coins. It wants us to describe the gold coins to the extra lives. So I'm going to look from the bottom to the top. And I know 6 divided by 2 is 3. 12 divided by 6 is, 12 divided by 2 is 6. Yes, that's right. I got tongue-tied. So my rule is I can divide by 2. Or you can multiply by a half. We haven't gotten to that yet, but if you do 3 times a half, it gives you 6. But the easiest thing to do for this problem would be divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, 12 divided by 2 is 6, 18 divided by 2, or half, is 9, and then half of 24 is 12. Okay, now we're going to use the given rule. It has already given us the rule. We don't have to find the rule. We just have to find the information to complete the sequence. So when we complete the sequence, we have number of coins, nickels, and dimes. So up top, you're adding 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. And then the dimes, we're adding 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, now it wants us to find the rule for top and bottom. So I can go through here and find a pattern. 5 to 10. It says right here I'm going to multiply. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. 15 times 2 is 30. 20 times 2 is 40, which means that 25 times 2 is 50. So you're going to multiply by 2. Okay, and now we are completing the rule that describes how one sequence is related to the other. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to find your rule, which is here. You're going to multiply the number of books by blank to find the amount spent. So you're going to want to find this answer. You're going to find the rule here, and then you're going to want to fill in the blank. So first off, I'm going to look and see if I can see any pattern. 3 and 12, 6 and 24, 9 and 36. I know 3 times 4 is 12. 6 times 4 is 24. 9 times 4 is 36. So I know that I'm going to multiply the number of books by 4. So I'm going to multiply 24 by 4. And that's going to give me 96. So you have to find your rule, and then you have to complete the sequence.